so many things come to mind. Of course, I have heard the devotees glorifying him in so many ways that I also would have said very similar things. So I'm thinking, what can I say? And I would like to say many things, hopefully that come to mind. I'd like to start by saying, who couldn't love? Look at this photograph of Maharaj. This is what happens. This is how we make devotees. Prabhupada told a scientist, Bhakti-Swarup Damodar Maharaj, he said, you're not going to win over the scientist with your philosophy. He said, you're going to win them over with your heart. Try to understand that. Of course, myself, I spent so much time with Srila Prabhupada. I sat through literally 1,000 classes right there by the Vyasasana Srila Prabhupada. It isn't ever what impressed me. What impressed me was seeing Srila Prabhupada sitting in his room, just grabbing everyone with his love. And I see the same thing in the great devotees. Bhakti Churu Maharaj, same thing. He just gave love. And in return, we gave love back. This is the process. We saw on the morning walks with Srila Prabhupada with Mr. Patel. How much philosophy did Srila Prabhupada give to that one person? But he didn't turn him. He didn't turn him with philosophy. But he was, Mr. Patel, Dr. Patel was attracted to Srila Prabhupada because of the love. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, I see so many of you here. I want to thank you. Yesterday was an amazing, everyone there all day long, 42, 43, 44 degrees, packed into Krishna Balaram Hall. It was our first super festival, if we can call it festival, at Krishna Balaram Hall. The management team did an amazing job with almost no notice, 15 hours, 20 hours. And you were all very, very kind to not notice any difficulties because of your love for Gopal Krishna Maharaj. You just wanted to see him, offer your respects to him. He gave a lot of love. I know many of you, for one reason, he always invited me to his temples here in Delhi. One of his final requests to me when we went there for the opening of the Rohini temple, he said, did you go to Dwarka temple? Whenever I see him, he would say, did you go to Dwarka temple? I'd say, no, Maharaj. He said, you have to go to Dwarka temple. He says, you have to go to all my temples. Why would he want me to go to these temples that he opened? Not because of me, but he knows somehow or other they're going to let me talk about Srila Prabhupada. What he wanted was that you all develop your attachment to Srila Prabhupada. That's what he wanted. And it's those devotees that are the greatest. What did Srila Prabhupada do? He never tried to get us to honor him. What did he call it? The Hare Krishna Society. At that time, we had different societies going on. We had the Rajnishis. We had the Guru Maharaj. It was their society. Prabhupada didn't say that. It was the Hare Krishnas. That's what he wanted. And because of that, that was his greatness. Gopal Krishna Maharaj's greatness is all he did was give us Srila Prabhupada. Through his books, through his temples, through all of you, his followers. I was talking to Maharaj yesterday. We were contemplating. When Prabhupada was here, just like myself, I joined 1971. And I had more association than most everyone with Srila Prabhupada, huh? But it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I needed more. Some had a few years in Prabhupada's presence. Maximum was 10 years. Anyone had while Srila Prabhupada was on this planet. And then we were talking about Gopal Krishna Maharaj and his disciples. Some of you have been with him since babyhood. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You have had his association. What do we do? What do we do when Srila Prabhupada left? The day he left, I was temple president in Hawaii. I thought that was a big deal, temple president. I was outside, I got a phone call, Prabhupada's left. I drove to the temple, and I drove right into a concrete wall on the way into the temple. I was literally delirious. All of you sitting here today, your future. When Prabhupada was here, he accepted whatever we did as long as we did some service. But after his departure, so many struggled. We all struggled. But the one thing, and I learned that from Srila Prabhupada, that he said many times, I am always with my spiritual master. He has never left me because I follow his instructions. I've already gotten letters, my wife has gotten some letters from different people. They don't know what to do. How can I go on? Maharaj is gone. I massage Prabhupada every day. 2.5 years, every day I gave him massage. I say, I feel closer to him now very often than I did when I was giving him massage, even though I was touching that transcendental body. His instructions, most important thing. We know, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he's not gone. He'll always be with you. But you have to latch on to his instructions, to experience that, to feel that, to literally feel his presence. It is possible. I can tell you that. It's possible from my own experience. You can do it. And as Maharaj read the will of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, so simple and so profound. So profound. Don't leave ISKCON. Don't try to find an easier way. Just do your service. It was so wonderful hearing him say, I don't have any assets to surrender. Nothing is in my name. Only my watch Prabhupada gave me 47 years ago. He still had that watch. That was the one thing, his memory. And the deities. And his deities. We're going to be canvassing, lobbying to get some of those Shilas here in our temple in Vrindavan to also remember Maharaj.
We already spoke about that last night.
So I do, as many of us do, I feel your pain when I heard it. Panchagoda and I, as many, we saw him just a few days before, right, in his room. We were there, as Panchagoda mentioned. Whenever we saw him, we would say, just stay here in Vrindavan, you have such a lovely place. And as others have said, he would never say anything. He wasn't an arguing person. He just smiled. He would just smile. You knew he wasn't going to listen. He was a Prabhupada. You know, we say you have a Prabhupada man. We have an ISKCON. We have ISKCON men. Prabhupada's somewhere in the background. Then you have the Prabhupada men. Then you have like him, Prabhupada ISKCON man. This is what you need. You want to please Maharaj. You want to feel Maharaj's presence. is all you have to do is follow his instructions. It will be there. Like Bhakti True Maharaj, these are the things I admired about Gopal Krishna Maharaj. That simplicity, that childlike behavior. He opened so many temples, distributed so many books, traveled around constantly. But behind the scenes, you just saw simple devotee. He's just a devotee of the Lord, a devotee of his spiritual master. That's what's behind all of that. And this is what is required behind all these big, big things. And we say he was humble. Why he's humble? Because he understood whatever I'm doing, it's by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This is the understanding of a devotee. Prabhupada, same thing. I'm not doing anything. It's all the mercy of my spiritual master, he would say. And my disciples are doing everything. So it's realization. Maharaj had Krishna conscious realization. On a personal level, he was very kind to me. I didn't spend a lot of time with him early on. I remember morning walks, 1973 in New York City. He was Grahasta, young Grahasta. So he was 8 years older. I was 21, he was 29. And he would be there on the morning walk with a few others. And then I saw when he became GBC here in India. And after that, I was off to Hawaii, so I didn't see him again. 20 years later, or 20 years ago, I was with my wife. We were in India, and we were flying out. And we needed a room for a few hours, so we went to the Delhi temple. I went to the guest house. At that time, I don't know who was running the guest house. I said, we need a room for a few hours just to shower, clean up. He said, sorry, no rooms. And my wife, do you know who this is? This is Srutakirti. I always, this Srutakirti, he's Prabhupada's servant. Sorry, there's no rooms. Where's Gopal Krishna Maharaj? She said, he's not here, they said. Gopal Krishna Maharaj isn't here. Who's the temple president here? Oh, he's down. So we walked towards the temple president's office, and the door's open. And who's standing there in front of the temple president? Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who wasn't there, but he was there. This is our ISKCON society. He saw me. Maharaj, Srutakirti. He said, did you give him a room? He said, do you know who this is? This is Srutakirti, Prabhupada's servant. He said, give him a room, have him give class. I was like, thank goodness. This was Maharaj's heart. This is a devotee. Sometimes it's still a struggle when I go to the guest house there. No, it's not true. It's much easier now. But over the years, it was only because of his encouragement whenever I come here. I said, one of the last things he said to me, I want you to go all my temples here. So I want to make a plan. We can talk about Maharaj here, there, Srila Prabhupada. This is all he wanted from me. Find out what it is you can do in service and get you to do it. This was Prabhupada's method. He didn't start out with a bunch of rules and regulations. He gave you a lot of prasadam, and you got to hear the pure chanting of Hare Krishna. This is how ISKCON started, from the heart, not from guidelines, rules, regulations, do this, do this, do this. Oh, sorry, I can't do any of that. Prabhupada started this whole society by giving love. Maharaj created everything here by caring, by knowing just what it is you can do and getting you to do it. It's not difficult if that's how you look at things. And he saw me. Just this godbrother from way back when, he can talk about Srila Prabhupada, and this is what we need. I want it. He said, in all my temples, you go there, you tell them about Srila Prabhupada. So at this point, somehow or other, I'm here in Vrindavan, also by the mercy of Gopal Krishna Maharaj. I've been here last 5 years. I always knew when he was here, Mangal Artik, always offering Artik to Krishna Balaram. Always right there, Krishna Balaram. This is their temple. And you would see him every morning. And then go back to his room. See, this was it. It's these things. He was also a pujari. He loved being a pujari. He loved taking care of the deities. He loved doing Mangal Aratik. The management part, he did that for his spiritual master. But as a devotee, this was his attraction to the Lord, to his spiritual master. So I see him there with that wonderful smile. This is what we want. This is what attracted us. So I ask all of you, you want to have his association now. You have to understand his will, his literally his will. You have to understand his will, his last will. You have to understand his desires, and you'll always feel him. You also always will feel that absence, that separation. Somehow or other, Prabhupada said, that's the greatest ecstasy. The ecstasy of separation. Sometime we might understand that. Right now, there'll perhaps be some very difficult days ahead, maybe weeks, maybe months, maybe years for some of you. But your only solution is to just grab a hold of his feet and try to continue to serve him. And he'll take care of you. I guarantee it. Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.